All right, sorry about that. I do not know the name for video. Hopefully it'll string it all together. But what that means, and I'm going to pull this back up again so that we have it. So let me share my screen yet again. All right. So then what that means as far as the overall approach is that by now owning 2,556.03 shares, and the average dividend payout being $5.14. For the next several months, I can reasonably expect to get paid 2,556.03 shares times $5.14. And that's without even reinvesting any of those funds, which translates to $13,137.99 per month. This is the power of the yield max funds, is that you're creating passive income. And this is truly passive, not like purchasing real estate and renting it out, where you have to continue to do work as a landlord. This is passive in the sense of you've just invested in this asset that's going to keep on paying you. We don't know if it's going to keep on paying you $5.14 per share for the next 9 months or the next 9 years, but it doesn't really matter because even if it pays you $4 and then it goes to $3, as long as you've continued to reinvest and increase your share count, you're going to continue to see great monthly payouts. Now, one of the things that always comes up is that people say, well, what about the taxes? The answer is you got to pay them. If you go to your job, nobody ever says, what about the taxes then? Every single time I hear somebody announce, oh, I got a new job, I never see people posting in the comment sections, what about the taxes? We need to take that same mindset and perspective with this. You're getting free money from YieldMax doing the stock option trading. You don't need to now ruin it by saying, well, what about the taxes? I don't want to pay taxes. My recommendation is to simply expect that whatever dividends you get paid in the month of April, those are going to go towards taxes. So give Uncle Sam what is due. But thankfully, you're not having to reach into your pocket in order to do so. So that's my quick, short snippet about the tax liability. Yes, there is taxes because this is income. And because it's income, taxes are due. But you're not paying it. It's just coming right out of your dividends. The other thing that a lot of people say is if I'm constantly reinvesting, then what's the point? Well, remember, you don't have to reinvest everything. In the scenario that I gave, now that we're already at 2,556.03 shares, if you wanted to use the dividends to replace your income from going to your job, and let's say you make $8,000 a year, I'm sorry, a month, you can now keep $8,000 of the 13,137.99 cents and then take the remaining 5,100 and reinvest. And by doing so, this is going to continue to build up your portfolio, which enables you to continue to receive comparable payouts, even if the dividend per share amount decreases as the share price decreases. So that's an approach that anyone can take. Once you get to whatever your number is, you can then determine how much or how little you're reinvesting. Now, one of the other things that comes up a lot is something that's called NAV erosion, and that's net asset value erosion. With a lot of these high yield dividend income paying funds, the share price decreases substantially. And that's because YieldMax is paying you out every month or every week based on that share price. In order to be able to do so, the money's got to come out of the share price. That's the reason why a lot of these funds have such large NAV erosion, sometimes as much as 80% in a year. As long as you're reinvesting your dividends and purchasing more shares, you're not going to really be impacted by it. So if you're thinking about getting these funds, typically you'll want to do so long as you're reinvesting. If your goal and desire is to just enjoy the dividends, well, eventually your investment is going to be eroded away because you kept the money that was being paid to you instead of reinvesting it so that you could get bigger payouts. So now, covered a lot, and unfortunately, there was a break in the video because apparently the internet had a brownout. I don't know how it's going to all string together. I'm going to try and do so, but I wanted you to be able to take a look at a very high level overview that was in a relatively short amount of time about these yield max funds. I invite you to come out to the various workshops that we do in person so you can learn a lot more. It's a ton of information for people who haven't actually invested before. They have a lot of questions, but the goal is to make sure that everybody has a safe forum where you can learn about this content. It's all free, it's all open to the public. Nobody's trying to sell you anything. The goal is simply to educate, to elevate, so that that way you can put yourself in a better financial position. I thank you for tuning in. Again, be on the lookout for the videos. Feel free to go and like and subscribe to the law offices of Mario A. Reed so that that way you can keep up with all the content that comes out. But the goal is for you to be able to benefit. All right, everyone, have a great one. Enjoy the rest of this weekend, and may peace be unto you.